Welcome back to All Day Sports. I'm Nate.
I'm Carter.
I'm Tim.
I'm Dallas.
Okay, so today we're going to be going over our NBA Top 10 Power Rankings. That'll be our first segment. Then we'll go over our top 5 NBA rookies. Then we'll do a little fun game called Buy or Sell with NFL players. So Dallas, start us off with number 10.
Okay, my number 10 on the NBA Power Rankings, I got the Hawks. They made a big improvement. Not a huge, but they brought in an all-star player in DeJounte Murray, which will help their defensive needs and really help Trae Young on the defensive side and give extra shot creation on the offensive side. So that's what I have at 10.
At 10, I got the Grizzlies. I'm tired of all this hate on the Grizzlies. You guys dissing Ja. He's better than all your favorite players. I don't want to hear it anymore. Ja's not good. I hate it. Ja is a top 5 NBA player. Mark my words.
Okay, I don't hate the Grizzlies at number 10. I just feel like there's a few teams
I feel like they could be in
that
top
are
5 by
better.
the end of the season, but that's just me.
I just don't know how much better they're going to get as a whole.
They're the team that set themselves up to regress this year, basically, because
Pretty
they
much.
overachieved last year.
They also lost a lot of bench
Playing on the
players.
downfall. Always
I think losing Kyle Anderson, D'Anthony Melton were big losses for them.
Yeah.
And Jaren's hurt too. That doesn't help.
Jaren Jackson not being back till like Christmas is gonna hurt.
Ja carries. We're good.
Hey, they re-signed Steven Adams, so
The GOAT.
I guess you can call that a positive.
At 10, I got the Heat. I think that's a good spot for them. I mean, same like the Suns. I didn't put the Suns in my top 10, which might be crazy.
You didn't put the
but
Suns in the top 10?
I don't think. I'm tired of all these teams. They
I'm
don't
not-
change anything and they lose players. It's
I'm
like, I
not
can't
big
say
on the
they're
Suns.
good.
I'm not big on the Suns, but I still put them in.
They're
that
getting
is
older.
wild.
Chris Paul just getting worse and worse. They're the same roster.
Going from the best team in the league, win-wise,
Yes, it's the-
to not a
statistically.
top 10 team, that is insane.
Oh,
That's like a record drop-off.
yes.
I don't think
And Chris
it's-
Paul wasn't
It's
necessarily
happened before.
worse.
It's happened before.
He just doesn't play good in the
I don't
No, when
think
he
it's
stops
I really
trying
don't
the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's outlandish. I don't. I think they're going to regress. I could see them not being a top 10 team next year as well. I see Chris Paul falling off. I think Chris Paul retires
Has
in 2
fallen off.
years.
Okay,
He's got that massive
I can
contract,
see him.
though.
I can see him retiring in 2 years, but the
The-
roster is still really good.
Their best chance was last year and the year against the Bucks, and they blew it. They blew both of them.
Yeah,
They're up 2-0 on Milwaukee.
I don't think their chance at winning the championship is necessarily greater, but I don't think they're
I think their
a bad
chance,
team by any means.
I think their chances of winning a
They're not a bad
championship
team.
are over.
Just because they're not my top 10 doesn't mean they're a bad team.
Yeah, I still see him as a top 3 team in the league.
No.
In the league,
Yeah,
come playoff time.
yeah, because their roster is still really good. It's well
I don't
built.
know,
I
man.
think their bench is not that good, to be
They
honest.
put defense around Devin Booker and Chris Paul, and they have a good floor spacing.
But the chemistry is bad.
I don't think it's that bad. They had
Ayton wants
they,
out.
they had a scuffle in the playoffs, but I think they'll come around it because
But how many scuffles are going to happen before Chris Paul's whole body gives out?
I still see him as a championship contender. I don't think they'll
I
win
think
it.
their chances of winning a championship for me are over.
The only chance is that if like Aiden and Devin Booker really, and if they all like jump out,
I think Aiden has to take another step.
yes.
Yeah.
But Chris Paul's getting worse and worse every year.
But the thing is like when Chris Paul was really good, Ayton wasn't. Now it's going to be Chris Paul's not going to be very good, and Ayton has to take that step up. You're taking 2 steps.
It's
You're
true.
taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
I see what you
Who
mean.
knows?
They're just moving laterally, kind of. But Chris Paul didn't really regress from the year before to this
Yes,
last
he
year.
did.
Yes, he did, especially in the playoffs.
Yes.
In the
He
playoff-
struggled.
He
I
just
don't
stopped
know.
shooting. It's like he
He
gave up.
didn't care.
He gave up.
Another factor
He
is
doesn't have that. Doesn't have that fire in him. Man.
another
No, he
fact-
doesn't have that
He
Jimmy
shot
Butler
like
in
5
him.
shots. Okay, after game 2, where he was actually doing fairly well. And remember he had that game against the Pelicans? Wasn't he like 14 for 14 from the field?
Yeah, and he had like 39 points. He was going crazy.
And then he just stops trying. And they were up 2 on the Mavs. And
He needs to go back to those State Farm commercials.
That's
It was pretty sad.
So
So-
moving on, at number 10, I got the Boston Celtics. I know it's a little bit of a jump from last year, but I see them regressing. I see Jason Tatum having a down year and Jaylen Brown becoming the real star of that team. That's just my opinion. I really like Jaylen Brown. I like him more than Jason Tatum. I've never liked Jason Tatum because he went to Duke and I'm a UNC guy. But
Nate
that's my
always-
hot take. That's my hot take on my list. Is that
Nate always praying on Jason Tatum's downfall.
10?
I,
I'm just saying, like, I think they're.
I don't think the Malcolm Brogdon thing works. That's my, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's a
He's
bad
only-
thing,
he's
but
only
the
in a-
roster is still really, really.
Yeah.
I don't think the whole thing revolves around Malcolm Brogdon. I don't think that doesn't make a huge difference. It's the coaching. The coaching is the big thing.
Yeah, especially with M.A. Adoku out, I think
Yeah.
that's really going to kill us.
Udoka really rallied that team in the second half of the
Hell
season.
office.
When did I ask? Okay, anyway.
Udoka really rallied that team because they were awful before Christmas.
They're awful. They're like the
Yes,
Yeah,
sixth
they
seed.
were.
Awful.
They were like
They
the
were
10
awful.
seed.
With all that
10
talent,
seed.
Yeah.
yeah, they were a Carter.
10 seed?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were the
they
10
were
seed.
really bad.
Then
They're
they
like
went.
the 7th or 6th. seed.
No.
Then like
They weren't even in the playoffs. The Pacers had a better record than them.
Yeah. Yeah, but like
I actually remember.
Brogdon's probably only going to play 30 games anyway, like he always does. So
I just-
it's
Well, I
not
think
gonna be a
I guess
huge
I think
difference.
that's not a bad take because I don't think Tatum's
Yeah.
gonna get any better, to be honest. But their roster is still really good, and Robert Williams, if he's healthy, he's really good.
But their roster can be so good, but the coaching, like literally like last year, their roster was really good last year, and they didn't have a good coach, and they weren't that good. So
it's kind of like that roster seems like it could be really good or really mid. Like I see what you're saying.
yeah, like
I could see at the best they finish as a 5 or a 4. I'm gonna say 4.
Okay.
I can see them finishing as the top seed because that's how wide open the East is for me. Because
You know, I'm gonna take that back. I say 3. I could see him
Yeah.
taking a 3.
I don't
Okay.
think higher. I don't know about higher.
I
than
can-
The lowest, I could see them being an 8 seed, legitimately.
yeah, I can
yeah.
I can see them being a top seed just because they did it last year, and it just depends on how the coach is filled, whether he resorts to the other assistant coaches. But I can still see them be a top seed with how talented their roster is. Just they're gonna have to figure out the front office first.
Yeah.
It's just a huge distraction. Like for media day, that's all they were asked about. Was
Exactly.
what happened to Udoka. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
You're number 9.
At number 9, I got the Cavs. They obviously getting Donovan Mitchell was a huge pickup for them, and they didn't really have to give up a whole ton. I get they had to give up 3 first-round picks, was it? And
Yep.
then their first-round pick from this year, but I think it was a good price to pay for an all-star player, and I
Playoff
think
performer.
yeah, and I think he'll be the number 2 option on the roster in the regular season, but I think come playoff time, he'll be the number 1. Darius Garland will take more of a playmaking role, and Donovan Mitchell will take over, score 30 in the playoffs. I think that's the kind of guy he is, the kind of team that would be.
The thing about the Cavs is I just don't know. They didn't make spoiler alert. They didn't make my top 10. I just don't know.
Really?
I think there's a little bit too many. There's too many question marks for me.
Really?
You know what I mean?
They're
I
young.
know that they're a great front court defensive team. That backcourt defensive liability scares me a lot. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are two poor defenders. You know what I mean? It just scares me come playoff time. I think they need a couple more. I think they need another year because last year, what were they? They were a play-in team. They didn't make the playoffs.
They were in the
Yeah.
playoff race before then Jared Allen got hurt.
Yeah, Jared
Yeah.
Allen got hurt.
Yeah.
I think their key is Okora needs to be effective.
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs to make. Can't shoot 30%.
Night in and night out, he's going to guard the best ball handler, and he needs to be able to hit that corner 3, basically.
That's it.
If he can shoot 35% from the corner, he's already an elite defender.
Looking at a Mikal Bridges type guy.
Yeah, just not as good on the offensive side. But
Yeah.
if he can take a jump, I think they can be a championship contender.
I think they need more time
Yeah.
for me to
Just
consider
kind of
them
like
a
gel and
championship.
like figure things out. At the
Because you already know what you're getting from Jared Allen. You're expecting a small jump from Evan Mobley. You already kind of know what you're getting from him. Darius Garland can take another jump, I think. And then Donovan Mitchell, you're hoping you get what he had in Utah. It's really just coming down to the
system that they kind of run,
like
the type of offense.
the 5 through 7, like Karis LeVert. We don't know, can he be what he was with the Nets that one year?
Yeah, exactly.
There's just a few question marks.
Kevin
Mine,
Love's still good.
I have the Nuggets. I like them. I
So
think they
low.
could finish top 5, but at the same time I could see all the 8 teams I have in front of them being better. I like them, but
I can agree with you. They're not very high on my list either.
I can see it.
I like Jokic. I like the pieces they have. It
Just Jokic hasn't done anything in the playoffs to impress me. They're a regular season team. You know what I mean? So
I can see
I can
it.
see
Did
them
he leave
finish.
to the Western Conference Finals?
They're a playoff team. Just they haven't played with everybody in 3 years.
exactly. I think they're going to struggle to get.
I think they're a playoff team. But it's like my thing. I could
Once
see them-
again, one too many question marks.
Yeah.
They're-
And I
yeah.
can see my other 8 teams being. Right now, I think they're better on paper. So
I don't.
Jamal Murray hasn't played basketball in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
that's
Yeah.
that's my biggest.
You're right. The
thing.
injuries.
I'd probably put him almost it's 6 if we're guaranteed Bubble Murray.
yeah, exactly.
Their starting lineup is really good though. Like
That's
with
why-
Bones off the bench, then you got Jamal Murray. KCP is a good perimeter defender and he can hit threes. Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Jokic.
That's a great lineup.
That is a really good starting lineup. And
I don't like Michael Porter Jr. all too much.
I don't think
I
he's,
get that.
I don't think he's all that.
That's,
and
well,
I
that's
can
my
see
thing.
that, but
I
paying him
don't.
$230 million.
And I don't love him, and that's why I have him so low.
He's-
Like, if
He hasn't proven to me anything.
he's still a solid player. He's just got to stay on the court, really.
Yeah.
about you, Carter.
What you got?
I got
at
Hawks at 9. I think they're going to be pretty good. I think their starting lineup's very good. But I think DeJounte Murray, I think he's going to help just not on defense, but just being that secondary ball handler besides Trae Young. Because last year when
Yeah.
Trae Young was off the court, he had
It
like-
was bad.
It was
they,
like,
have no other ball handler, but
like-
now they have another all-star point guard.
DeLon Wright.
I thought you said the Hornets. I was like,
Or
wait, what?
they have Lou Will, but he's not really a playmaker. He's
Something's going to help a ton.
He's a little washed.
I
Yeah.
want to shout DeAndre Hunter. I think if he's healthy and stays on the floor, he's going to have a really good year
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, didn't he have like 40
In the last game,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
really good. That starting lineup is really good, and I think they're contenders. I think they're contenders if they put it together.
yeah. The only thing that
They
confused
didn't make
me,
the playoffs last year,
they
did
did.
They did,
They
yeah.
were the 8 seed.
Yep, that's right.
The only thing that confused me this offseason was the Kevin Herter move.
I didn't like that. They should
Yeah,
have kept him.
like I feel like he was the wing that you could put in the starting lineup, or you could come off the bench and you could
He's
still be
averaging like
effective.
12 and a half a game.
Yeah,
He's
they,
good.
They got a
Like a
think
38% of three-point shooter.
they got a first round pick for him, so
I don't know.
You,
I
you
just
got
Well, what
value.
are you
You
gonna
got
do with
value
that?
back for
You know what I
him.
mean?
Yeah, and they do have kind of a logjam of wings there, and Herter looked like the most potential at the, or no, Hunter looked like he had the most potential at the time. So, yeah,
I don't know.
So
It was just-
at number 9, I got the Phoenix Suns. They're a great regular season team. They do not perform well in the playoffs. That's all I got to say about them. We spoke enough about them earlier, so
that's pretty.
we got
simple.
an 8.
That's pretty simple.
okay. 8, I got the Celtics. I had them a little bit higher than 10, but yeah, I think they're due for regression just because the coaching in the front office. They can obviously stay where they are. They just have to figure out the intangibles and all that. And
You know,
figure out what is going on and like don't fall apart is basically what
who
they're
is their
trying to
head
do.
coach?
It was the assistant, or I don't know who it is, but I can't remember his name. But yeah, I got the Celtics at 8.
My 8, I have the Heat. We love Jimmy Butler, but again, I like the 7 teams I have in front of them more.
Yeah,
I think
gonna
the Suns
agree
are
with
just the
that.
same.
I
team.
could
a little
legitimately,
worse. They
I
lost
could,
PJ Tucker. That
I could put them at 5 and be fine with it, but it's like, right.
yeah. The Heat didn't make my list.
They did for me.
I like the Heat.
The Heat.
They're a big question mark for me.
The Heat to me are better than the Celtics. They're better than the Suns right now. I'll
Yes.
take them over the Suns. They're more experienced than the Nuggets, so I'm going to take them over the Nuggets.
That'd be a good series.
You know what I mean? So
I think Tyler Hero almost needs to take another jump for them to be a championship contender.
then they can't let him come off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they'll start with this.
He's
Well,
a
they
he's
just
their
paid him a boatload of money.
he's their
Yeah.
best scorer in the half court set, and he's like never on the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, he still plays starter minutes, but I think you need to run him with the starting group.
I do too.
Even-
I think legitimately they could run him as a number 1 option, and Jimmy's gonna get his points, and you got Bam in there, you got Big Booty Lowry in there. So
I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause
I think that's. The
I think
problem.
I don't think Kyle Lowry's any good though.
No.
I watched that
Not
playoff series.
Not anymore.
He did not look like he made a single shot all series.
He-
He,
bad.
he looks like he's in better shape at least. So we're
all the memes.
laying off on the cupcakes.
Yep.
Number
but-
8, I got the Celtics too.
Yeah.
I mean, I was never impressed with them last year. I think the Heat should have won that series if Tyler Hero didn't get hurt. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So at number 8, I got the Denver Nuggets. Once again, one too many question marks for me. I believe in Jokic. I really do. I just don't believe in Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. I like Bones Highland, but I don't know, man. It's just too many. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell. And I might look like, stupid later on, but if I do, I would admit it. But I don't think Jokic is that guy in the playoffs, and I haven't seen those two guys play together, and I haven't seen Jamal Murray play in 2 years. Now, if we're talking about the Nuggets from them, I'd probably have them around that 5 to 6 range, but.
Okay, so I have a little controversial one here at number 7. I got the Bucks.
Ooh, really?
I got the Bucks at 7.
All right.
So the reason I have the Bucks at 7 is I think they're going back to their ways of in 2019 when they were a regular season team, but they struggle in the playoffs because last year they did not shoot very well, and I don't think they really met the needs that they need to help Giannis in the playoffs. Because obviously Drew Holiday and Giannis are elite at defense. Chris Middleton is a great secondary scorer. Brook Lopez is good, but outside of that, there's not much. Like, they lost DiVincenzo. I get he was hurt, but he was their 5th best player at times. And
No, you're actually making a good point because
I
if you watch that Celtics series,
The
they shot
Celtics series, Chris Middleton looked non-existent.
yeah,
Like,
I get he was
when he
hurt
was
for a
playing.
bit, so he wasn't in prime condition. But still, you need to make your shots.
Like when you had in the 2020 final or in the 2021 playoffs when they were playing against the Hawks and Giannis was hurt, dude, Middleton was scoring like 30 points a game.
Yeah.
And he was that guy.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that from him since that series.
Yeah.
And in the Suns series when Giannis would not struggle, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, he just went
Chris Middleton would step up. He wasn't just watching like he was in the Celtics series.
Yeah.
I get if he's hurt, but I think Drew Holiday could take a little bit more of a better role on offense. I know he's not looked at as a scorer,
Yeah.
but he can give you. I think he could give you a good 19 a game.
He makes some big shots. Also,
He does. He really did last
yeah,
year.
and then he'll lock up the number 1 ball handler.
Yeah,
Like,
just like in the finals
Yeah.
against the Suns when he made that playoff.
I'm just saying, I think I see your point because in that series, Drew Holiday was their best shooter. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
He can shoot.
It's definitely a hot take.
I get the point.
I don't. I'm not saying I agree with what you're saying, but I'm not gonna sink them that low. But I totally understand the point. I think it's a good point.
So you can win a series with 3 good players, like your 3 top players.
Yeah.
But
that's
it
been
is
proven.
super hard. It is
Yep.
because their outside help really is Brook Lopez and
He's Asian. He got that back problem. He's old.
Pat Connaughton's not very.
Pat Connaughton is.
I think he's underrated.
Ah,
I like
he's-
Pat Connaughton.
He's an okay role player, and like Grayson Allen. Like,
He's not good.
Grayson Allen kind
they
of sucks.
they don't have a good bench.
And then
Like,
who else do you
okay,
have?
Bobby Portis is
He's solid.
but
Crazy eyes. He's
Dude.
so funny.
there's just not like the depth isn't there.
Yeah, you're right. The bench
and
is
they're
pretty
missing
bad.
they're missing 3-point shooting.
Oh,
You need 3-point shooting when you have Giannis. on the
If
floor. I'm sorry.
if they could pick up a dude like Heald to come off the bench, that would be
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't see him doing it. I think they're kind of just locked in. You know what I mean?
They're I see what you mean. They're a conservative team.
Yeah,
they're
they're not going to go out there. The one that surprised me the most was when they went and they got Drew Holiday. I didn't think that they were going to do that. I thought they were just going to always be a team who couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah, they're not looking to make a splash.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
who wants to go to Milwaukee in free agency? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have all that money, so.
Yeah. Hey, Giannis to the Bulls.
My 7, I have the Nets. Roster wise, we know who they have. They have KD, Kyrie. Like they're good, but again, there's a lot of rumors going around with what's his name?
Blake Griffin?
No, their coach.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, yeah. Blake Griffin.
Blake
the
Griffin?
coach.
We can't
Yeah.
talk about that on here.
He went to the Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I
he's
saw
not
that.
good anymore though.
But again, there's a big question mark on the coaching staff. Like I've heard, he's going to get fired. Katie doesn't want him there, that sort of thing. So that's my big question mark for the Nets. Is
The thing is though is like when you have those two talented players,
Yeah.
do you like
do you even need a coach?
that's exactly what I'm saying.
But that's the thing.
You do, but like
We saw in the playoffs, you do need a coach because like the question is how far can Steve Nash take you?
exactly.
Because Kevin Durant and Kyrie will will you to wins, but there will be times that Steve Nash needs to actually do his job.
Exactly. Like the defense. Oh.
Yes.
I think they did a good job this offseason. They addressed defense. They got Royce O'Neal, who is a good defender. Not great on offense, but he's a good defender.
Most improved player, I think he is could be Ben Simmons. Legitimately,
Ben Simmons.
I think he could come back. I think he could average like 19, 9, and 9.
Okay, I
and
don't
like
know.
two steals. But I don't think he'd win most improved. But I think he's gonna prove a lot of people wrong.
I don't know about 19. I can see 15.
I can see a calm 19, first team all defense.
I think he could be a defensive player of the year candidate.
Yep. He can guard 1 through 5.
he
usually was.
we will see that he is one of the most valuable assets to any team. He'll give you good defense, good playmaking, good rebounding. Literally, the only thing he can't do is shoot. And I listened to JJ Redick's podcast.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
And Ben Simmons said, "I'm going to shoot this year." We'll see,
Yeah,
but
I remember that.
but
I like
he
JJ Redick.
verbally said that he's going to shoot this year. So hopefully,
Number 7, I got the T-Wolves, man. I'm really high on them.
That's a hot take.
I don't
They have
even have him in
They
here.
have a
Yeah.
great roster. I think they have the best front court in the league.
Yeah.
I think Ant's going to be arguably a top 5 shooting guard. I think Jay McDaniels is going to be a
Stud.
really good role player.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think their bench is really good. I think they're a top 5 team in the West for sure. I think they're really good, and I think they should have won that Grizzlies series. And that was
Cap.
with Cat being mid.
Cap.
That's actually Cat's best playoff series, by the way. I looked at the stats, which is crazy.
He's only been in 2.
It's kind of like
yeah.
It was like 3
The Jimmy Butler one, and then
he was
this
really
one.
bad in that series.
Yeah. Well, everybody was bad in
Yeah,
that
because they played
series.
Houston, right?
Yeah, they got
Right.
swept.
Yeah.
They got Shrek.
Not even gentlemen sweep.
Ugh.
Okay, so at number 7, I have the Clippers. Once again,
Oh,
usually,
my God.
Number 7?
yeah. Okay, so let me speak. Let me speak. My 7th through my 10th spot have a lot of question marks surrounding them. What are you giving me that face for? Did you look at my list?
No, I really said it.
They have too many question marks.
I don't think they have question marks. Their roster
Is
is
the
loaded.
Los Angeles LeBrons higher than the Clippers?
No, but
That
I
was
just
a fake no.
I just don't. Let me speak. Let me speak. I just don't. My biggest question mark is Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, like always. We haven't seen them play healthy and together for 2 years. It's just like the Jokic and the Jamal Murray thing. I just think that they can be better than those two. And the playoff, the playoff.
Well, I think they'd be a lot better, but
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that.
I think it's closer than people make it out to be.
Hold on, home fish. But I just, I don't know, man. I really want Paul George to succeed, but I don't really trust Tyronn Lue too much. I think they have a great roster, but it'll just be a matter of, can they stay healthy and how successful can they be in the playoffs? Because we've seen them both together healthy, and they choked a 3-1 lead.
Yeah.
So
we've also seen them in the Western Conference Finals with only Paul George, also as a flip side.
But you had the entire healthy team, and
Yeah.
you blew a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, I see your concern because after Kawhi and Paul George, there's a significant drop.
Exactly.
Unless we
Wall.
get a prime John Wall,
Which
I don't think we will get a prime John Wall,
But I think we'll get a solid John Wall,
Yeah.
like 16, 5, and 5.
I think we'll get an efficient John Wall.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's really all you can ask for. Like, even if he gives you, 12, 6 assists and 4 rebounds, I think.
And he's playing good defense.
Yeah.
So
Shoots 37% from 3. I think that's all you can ask
looking
for.
in the 80s for the free throw percentage.
And then Reggie Jackson can be a good 6-man. He can be kind of that spark plug, if you want to put
Yeah.
it that way. You can put Luke Kennard in the starting lineup or off the bench.
Yep.
Really.
Who you got?
for 6.
Number 6, I got the 76ers. I think this is a good spot for them because they didn't do anything huge, but they're going to get a full season of James Harden. PJ Tucker will be back, or not back, but PJ Tucker will be there, help on the defensive side, not fill what Ben Simmons did defensively, but kind of hide what Harden struggles on defensively, and some of those wings aren't the greatest at defense, but you obviously still have Tybal, who's a good defender, just awful on offense. But
I think he's overrated on defense, honestly.
You're missing like one of their best players. You haven't even said anything
Well,
about
I'm
Tyrese Maxey.
oh, Tyrese Maxey.
Come on, man.
I thought you were going to say Embiid. I'm like,
no,
again, it's
Tyrese
Embiid.
Maxey.
I think Tyrese Maxey is. I think we've seen what the most he can be at this point because I don't see him getting much better. He's like a Jordan Poole. I don't see Jordan Poole taking another huge jump. It obviously could happen, but I just don't see it. And
I kind of see what you're saying because like I don't know if he can like command an offense like a
Yeah.
Halliburton. Like
He's
or
not,
like
but
LaMelo.
can you when James Harden's on your team and Joel Embiid's on your team? You follow what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying like after that, though, like because Harden's gonna,
Yeah.
he's,
But and
eventually Tyrese
It's,
will be better than Harden.
it's very difficult for him to do that to prove it right
Yeah.
now.
But I'm still saying I think if he's
Yeah.
like on another bad team, I just don't know if and he's more of he's a scorer.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's an explosive scorer, but like this is my thing of how.
But yeah,
reacts.
in the end,
But-
if this team wants to win a championship, Joel Embiid has to play at an MVP level. That's the bottom
And
line.
you need Harden to cook.
Yeah,
it'd be hard to be like an all star, not just like a
Yeah.
Not, he
The
needs
peak,
to take a step
if you
from
could
last
have
year.
if you could have a peak, even all NBA third team James Harden, you're looking at and all NBA first team Embiid, dude. You're
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I don't think Harden's that good.
But I don't think he'll be all NBA 13, but I think he can still
That'd
make
be
an
crazy
all-star.
if he was all NBA.
I've seen people put him as a dark horse MVP, which
No.
that would be insane.
You know, me and my dad had a conversation about that yesterday about James Harden. He said that James Harden was his dark horse MVP. He's like, it's just hard because you're going to have two MVP candidates on one team. He's never going to get that love for that just because he has that.
I can see it because he does look like he's in shape, which is something we haven't seen in 3-4 years. But I think Embiid, I don't think he'll give the offense to Harden, but I think he'll be willing to run the offense through Harden because of how.
You think it would open him up more?
Yeah, exactly. How not explosive, but how effective he is and how much space he can create and what he can do to get the double teams off of Embiid.
I think last year was a lot of give the ball to Embiid and get out of the way. So.
Just
Yeah.
like this like mid-range thing.
Yeah.
So, who you got, Tim?
I had the Celtics at 6. All the same reasons we talked about. I like Jason Tatum, so we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they're gonna even make it back to the conference finals, but
I don't
Yeah.
either.
Me neither.
I can see it, but
Well, I can see it, but
I can also see
Very, very difficult without the coaching situation. I think
just-
that's well agreed through all of us.
I can also see him losing in the play-in. If I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
I think they're good. I think the roster's good enough to be
Win 40 games.
Yeah.
to be around that
40
6.
games still win 40 games.
You never know.
Never know. Last year they were looking at like not even
Yeah.
winning 40,
Yeah.
True, but
which is crazy. They almost had a lottery pick.
I think they figured things out as a team. So
Yeah.
Who you got,
Number 6,
Carter?
I got the Cavs. The Cavs are gonna be really good.
Um,
Their front court is amazing defensively, and I get the concerns with DG and Mitchell defensively. But like, if a guy gets by them, you're gonna have two.
I
guys.
know,
where
but
you going?
I know, but like
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
like, say with him when he said they need a corner to just hit corner threes and defend at an elite level, and I think that they're
they could
contenders.
he doesn't need to
I
do
think-
anything else.
No,
I
he
think
doesn't.
they could really use a Marcus Smart, legitimately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But where would you-
Maybe go a little bit of a small ball lineup. You'd have I don't know,
They need like a
or like a
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah,
if
there
they
it
have
is.
Mikal Bridges,
Yeah.
they would be the. I think they'd be the best team in the league. That's like the perfect roster right there.
Oh yeah, I was thinking.
Perfect starting
This is a
lineup.
bit of a side tangent, but my take was Mikal Bridges will start on any team in the league.
I don't think that's a bad take at all.
I think he's his impact. Is
I don't
needed on-
think he starts over like good guys, but
Not
like
the
they just
Clippers.
get
I don't think
moved.
he's starting the Clippers. Where would he
I
start?
think he would.
Where would
He could start at the
You move Paul George to the 2, you move Kawhi to the 4, and he starts at the 3. And then
That's
you
the
have,
only way I would see
Then you
it.
have John Wall or Reggie Jackson, and then Zubac.
Would you really want Kawhi at the 4?
I mean,
He
yeah.
I'm not saying it's a
he's
bad
played the
thing.
4.
He's an
He has.
undersized. I mean, he's 6'7".
And okay, if
but
he
he's
struggles
proven
against
it.
if he struggles against bigger defenders,
Put Nick
Mikal is
Batum.
there also.
Put Nick Batum.
I'm taking Mikal over Batum any
No,
day.
no, I'm saying put Nick Batum in if like Kawhi like.
Nick
started.
Batum looks
Yeah.
like he works at Walmart.
You could,
He's good, though. Nick Batum is
realistically,
good.
I've seen Paul George play the 1 before.
Yeah.
You could run a big lineup and be fine.
Well, yeah, you got guys like Luka and LeBron James playing the 1, so.
Yeah.
Luka.
Oh, it's my turn. I got the Heat at 6. I think they're just old reliable. You know what I mean? I don't see them exceeding any expectations, but I don't really see them failing any
Yeah.
expectations. You know what I mean?
They're pretty
I see him
consistent.
as old and crusty.
Their peak was 2020. You know what I mean? Getting to the final,
I don't
little
know.
bit of a lucky
It
finals.
was lucky
run.
because they.
I
That
feel
was,
like-
that
I feel
was
like
their
Hero could
peak.
have a
You have
really
to
good
agree.
year,
That was their
though.
peak.
It's hard for me to say it's their peak.
But if Hero has a really good year, you know what I mean? What if Jimmy Butler digresses? I don't want to say that
Yeah.
with the dreads. So
Yeah, the hair's gonna be getting.
He
in the way.
already ditched the dreads.
Yeah,
good for good reason.
He looked like he was in that one show, Surf's Up.
Yeah,
He looked musty.
you look like a fish, bro. It just was ugly.
But old reliable, I just got the Heat there. You know what I mean? They're got great coaching. You know what I mean? I love Spoelstra. I think they're gonna win around 50 games, low end of 50, like maybe like 55.
That's a lot. But if I'm being completely honest, I don't like the Heat. I just
What do you not like about the Heat?
Yeah.
the way they play, they have very little spacing. When you're relying on Max Strus to hit shots for you down the stretch, I don't think you can succeed. I'm being completely honest. Like Tyler Hero is obviously a great scorer,
But they had to rely on Strus because
got hurt.
yeah.
Well, yeah, even when Hero's in there, like
Yeah, even when Hero was healthy, they just play Max Strus more than they should.
I just don't know why.
No, they play
He's
him
not that
Strus
good.
isn't bad though.
He's not bad, but he's not good.
But you can't rely on him to hit threes with. You can't rely on him to hit.
Okay,
a game-winning
okay.
three.
Here's the situation.
He's gonna step out of bounds.
2 minutes left in the game. They were playing Strus more than Hero. Who's gonna hit a big shot first? Hero. He's done it. He did it in 2020 when he had like 40 points against the Celtics.
Yeah.
He was cooking them that
Yeah,
game.
I just the Heat are just they're so shaky on offense. Like I love Jimmy Butler, I love Bam,
But they have that defensive stability
Yeah.
always. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Kyle Lowry has to have some kind of comeback. He doesn't even have to be good. He just has to. He just has to defend air. Like
Just think that he were one shot away from going to the finals without Tyler Hero. So
yeah.
they
Well,
could.
getting-
would
getting to the
have
finals.
they would have given the Warriors more trouble than
Yeah.
the Celtics.
Yeah,
did.
just
because they would have
the
matched up.
defense.
They would have
That
matched up
defensive
way
Yeah, but-
better.
Yeah, but the
They would have matched up way better.
the
Against
Celtics
them.
are good on defense also. So
I
I don't think it would make a huge difference. But I can.
Yeah,
see
but Jimmy Butler has been there. You know what I mean? You got them guys.
I
Who
want
have
Jay
been
Butler to
there.
win, but
I know Jimmy Butler's like kind of like a Derrick Rose type of guy. You
Yeah.
want to see him win a
Yeah,
championship.
he's just a cool dude.
Yeah.
he works his tail
Yeah.
off.
Okay, getting into the top 5. Some might see this as a little low, but I got the Warriors. I don't think they're going to keep up what they did this last year. Their guys are only getting older.
I disagree. They got a lot of good young guys.
Well, yes, they
They're
have
I
young
might
guys, but I think Draymond Green is he's not gonna struggle, but he's gonna get slower and slower on
You're
the
right.
defensive end. Klay Thompson, I don't see him getting back to where he.
I don't think he's.
No,
that good.
I don't
I
either.
think Klay Thompson is officially washed, if you
He's
want to put it that
overrated.
way.
Curry took up a lot of that slack,
Yes.
especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson did not look good.
Yeah.
No,
Curry is
people were like acting like he looked good, but I don't think he looked good at all.
Curry is still a top 3 player, but you have to realize he's getting old, and
You're right.
and he's had injury history, so it's. I wouldn't be surprised if he.
He had an injury last year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he sprains an ankle and he's out for 20 games.
But I
or
mean, that
something.
injury was kind of.
Just-
I don't think your age matters in that situation.
Yeah, but I can see
His
a lot.
body's wearing down.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
can
how
see a
it
lot.
works.
I can see a lot of things going wrong for the Warriors this year. Is what I'm saying, but Poole needs to take another, not even a huge jump, just needs to be more consistent almost because
Take better shots.
because he was really good in the Nuggets, but then he kind of
Trying to impress the ladies.
yeah, he just wasn't as effective in the other series, but. We just need to see consistency, really. From
I think
him.
Moses Moody's gonna have a big year for them. He's like that
I hope
3D.
so.
He's
I
that,
hope so. I got a bunch of them rookie cards.
he's that 3D wing that's like perfect for that team.
I hope Moody is really good. I think Kuminga is going to be good. You just
And I guess Wiseman's a question mark too.
I can see Wiseman really stepping up.
it almost comes down to
It's
what
hard
their
to-
young guys do because
Yeah,
they lost Gary
true.
Payton. I
Yep.
think that was a big piece off their bench.
Yeah, he's in one of those energy guys like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
That Marcus Smart,
Pat
you know what I mean?
Bev.
Pat Bev.
Even
They can hit open shots.
even like Nemanja Bjelica, like he was a playmaker off the bench and he did the dirty
He's
work.
honestly not bad. I'll tell
Like
you.
you can't just replace veterans with rookies and
You're
everything
right.
will be fine because they don't have that veteran presence. Is what I'm
right.
trying to say.
My 5, I have 76ers. Most of the same reasons that Dallas said. I like Maxey. I like Embiid.
Wait, do you guys have the 76ers in your top 5?
Yeah, I'm at 5.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys didn't put them in there. I was like,
No, I can't be doing that.
I've watched Harden. I like Harden. I think he's going to be better this year than he was last year, but we'll see. it's one of those situations.
That's why I wish the NBA had a Comeback Player of the Year award.
They should.
Yeah.
If they had a most improved and comeback player, of the
Yeah.
year,
Yeah, also. I think NFL should add a most improved too.
Yeah, that would be a really cool.
They need to
award.
do that. But I got Sixers at 5 too. I'm not a fan of them. They kind of. I feel like Embiid always gets nicked up in the playoffs,
Yeah, or towards the end of the season.
and that's a problem. And
So-
I think Harden. I don't think he's getting any better. I think he's regressing. I think he'll have a better year than like how he got traded this season, right?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
he'll
yeah,
have
He has regressed. He's not getting back to 35 points a game.
36.
Yeah.
But I think he'll have a better year. But I don't think he's that good anymore.
If he's consistent and stays healthy, I think that'll be.
He's
fine.
not a superstar anymore. If he could be that upper tier of star,
Like upper, like a solid all star,
Uh-huh.
like top 7 point guard.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen though. And I think Maxey is kind of like I don't see him as a superstar. I think he's really
like-
undersized.
He's like an elite role player.
I would say he's more than a role player.
Like
'Cause
glorified.
what's your definition of a role player?
Like
he's an unsung hero, like an unsung star.
like a glorified Jordan Clarkson.
Because I think like
all he does is score.
I think like DeAndre Ayton. I don't think he's a role player. I think he's a really good starter. For example, like that. I don't. 'cause, like,
I think the term starter and role player can kind of be there's a gray area. In
I have
there.
a
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like a good starter, like
Drew Holiday. Well, he's like an all-star.
Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's a few tiers above.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
Like-
maybe right below De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
Like on that D'Angelo Russell kind
Yeah.
of tier. is
He's
what I'm
not a
saying.
role player.
well, he has
Yeah.
a specific job.
Yeah.
He's taught to go downhill and score the basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and give it
he's
to
not
Embiid
he's not
when he's
looked
open.
he's not looked upon to go play defense.
Yeah.
He's lead the fast break, get downhill and score.
Yeah.
I think his peak is De'Aaron Fox. That's my hot take. His peak is De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
Who's peak? Maxey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
That's an
that.
interesting one.
I just because they're really fast.
They got really fast.
I can see it.
But honestly, I don't think Darren Fox is that much better than Maxey.
Okay.
Not that much better, but
Oh, no.
still better.
Okay, this is my hot take.
I'll listen.
Obviously, just hear me out.
I'll listen.
I got the Lakers. I want them. I've watched. Shut up. Let me finish. I just. Hear me out.
Talk, please.
I've been watching them in the preseason. I think that everybody is sleeping on them. I can't.
Can't say that. Really?
Okay, no.
There's
I
100 media posted today about the Lakers.
I know, but
Oh my God.
I think,
LeBron shoots
shut
them.
up. Let me speak.
LeBron
Shut
shoots
up.
them.
Westbrook hit a three.
I think Westbrook is gonna end up taking that step back, but I think he's gonna always work his behind off, and I think he's gonna end up being pretty efficient this year. You know what I mean? Not gonna struggle with shooting it off the side of the backboard. I think Anthony Davis is gonna step up and be the best player on this team.
Wow. That's not...
Not like the best player, but I think they'll look for the number one option. I think LeBron can take that step a little bit more of a step back. 25, 7-7 like usual. I don't see LeBron James averaging like 30 a game this year, but he's going to break the scoring record, and I think that they're going to be around that in the West. I think they're going to be that 4 to 5 seed.
I can see that.
The peak of the Lakers is I think the 2 seed. Maybe I just don't see the 1 seed because I just don't see them playing that many games. You know what I mean? As much as I love Anthony Davis, I literally looked on my phone this morning and it said back soreness. So it's like a questionnaire or whatever. So they stay healthy. It's just my hot take. You know what I mean? So
I don't know.
I can see a peak of a 4 seed, but
I think that's their highest peak. I think their roster is very poorly built.
I do too, and I don't know why they didn't make the Buddy Hield for Miles Turner. If we're looking at that team, I'm a lot more confident.
Yeah,
I'm really relying on Anthony Davis this year and Russell Westbrook. I want Russell Westbrook to be a consistent 16, 7, and 7.
Like, who's their two other starters is what I'm saying. Austin Reeves.
okay. Yeah, Oscars, that's not great. And then Thomas Bryant's okay, but he was hurt all of last year.
We don't know how he's going to look.
Yeah.
It's gonna be up to how well can LeBron and AD cover up the holes in the roster.
I think their defense is
Because
going to be rough.
it is because LeBron's a poor defender. Obviously, Russell Westbrook is a poor defender. Patrick Beverly will help, but he's not going to make up all that liability. We could have used Dwight Howard, one more good big. No, I know Dwight Howard's not what he was in 2020, but another
You guys
A
could have got,
Miles
Like if you
Turner.
had the role players you had in 2020, it'd be way different.
you guys could have got Isaiah Hartenstein.
That would've helped.
He's a good backup big.
I would have helped a lot.
Hey, but Brody said he's gonna play defense this year, so.
Four.
Oh, 4. I got the Nuggets here. I think this is a good spot for them. You could put them in the top 3. I would say they're no lower than 5, but I think they're
This is worried.
I think they're due for a huge jump this year.
Yeah.
I can see them being the Suns of last year.
I could see.
winning.
I could see the.
I could see them being a 1 seed, but like
This
I
still
just
worries
don't know,
me.
man.
It's the sport that worries me.
I'm giving you my stamp of approval right now. 55 plus wins right now. No lower unless
watch Jokic get hurt right away
Unless-
or something like
unless
that.
Michael Porter blows his back out again and Jamal Murray.
I think they can win
forgets how
without
to
Michael Porter.
walk.
Though.
Yeah,
I don't like Michael Porter Jr. I don't think he's that good.
I think Aaron Gordon's also an underrated defender.
He's
He
good.
is.
I think Aaron Gordon's actually pretty good.
They have 2 good defenders. I would say KCP's a bit older, but he's
That
a
was a good
solid
pickup for
defender.
the team.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
come you guys weren't praising KCP when he's on the Lakers though?
He was good.
I know, but like everybody was crapping on him,
That's
and
true.
especially
that's because he
Nick.
shot pretty bad though.
He did.
He didn't shoot as bad as Danny Green. I hate that guy. Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
But
yeah, that's where I have the Nuggets.
My 4 are the Suns. I'm still pretty high on them. But
They're just a regular season team.
they are.
I mean, Chris Paul just
They are,
stopped
but
for-
but this is your top 10. You know, this isn't who's going to win the championship.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'll put
We're
I'm
all
just
entitled to our own opinions. So.
Number 4, I got the Nuggets. I mean, they're good. Jokic is him.
They're good.
Just too many question marks. I
I
guess.
see what you're saying, but
Yeah.
Michael Porter
Like
Jr.,
come
he's a
we'll
very
come
good.
back. We'll come back in like what, like probably December, January-ish,
Yeah,
and we'll
see.
reevaluate. And if they're 25 wins, something like that, I'll give you guys a stamp of approval. I'll give.
I'm calling it. What was it? How many games are before Christmas? It's like, or how many months are before Christmas? Like 2 months.
2.5.
Like say you play.
When is it? 30 games?
When's the
30
regular season
games.
start?
So,
Calling it.
Is it
24 and 6 before Christmas.
If they're above 27 wins, ooh, okay, then you'd have my stamp of approval.
I
Above
think
20,
their roster's
above
pretty
25.
good.
So
I think that starting lineup is just very solid.
yeah.
I think Jokic is just gonna get more and more polished. He'll get smarter and smarter with age,
And they're-
obviously. Just
I just think Murray's gonna struggle coming off that injury. You know what I mean? I don't want to see him struggle. I just don't want to
he
see him
looked
get
pretty good in
hurt.
preseason.
He looked
just
okay.
shooting.
I don't trust the NBA preseason
I see.
all too much.
But I think the biggest question mark is Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
They need that third option, and if he's not there, I think they'll still be really good if he's not.
I have to admit, the NBA preseason looks more realistic, if you want to put it that way, than the NFL preseason.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think that's close. But okay, number 4, I got the Warriors. I think they're gonna digress a little bit. Age is gonna hit Curry a little bit, and I think he ends up picking up a little wrist injury or something like that, nagging him into the playoffs. I think they're gonna end up being a low end 6 seed, but with that high, that if he gets hurt, you know what I mean.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could see them really struggling, and I don't think Jordan Poole could step up at like being a role as Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson digresses this year. Draymond Green has been digressing this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Curry
His
can only do.
teammates.
I don't see Curry having a year like he did last
Yeah.
year. So
Getting in fights.
And we also saw Curry last year. He went on some cold runs. Like when
he's trying to break the 3-point.
yeah, when he
Yeah.
broke the 3-point
Yeah.
record, he was like, what, 15% from 3 at one point?
So it was like
For like a month?
Oh, Curry could break it any day now.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
it,
about 3 weeks.
dude, it was quite. Yeah, you're right. It was like 3 weeks. It's like, oh, Curry could break the record if he hits 4 threes
Yeah. I
for
a long
2
time.
weeks.
Yeah.
I also can see a world where the Warriors come out and they'd be an excellent regular season team and they struggle in the playoffs because
Like the Suns. I could see
Yeah.
them having a Suns year, you know what I mean?
because they have so many young guys that they're almost built for the regular season.
But
They're
they
young.
don't have a young star. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't consider Jordan Poole to be a star yet.
Yeah,
Like, what's the definition of a star? Is what I'm saying.
like who's the lowest star in your mind?
Like a young star.
I like a lowest young star.
Like Darius Garland, like a.
I would say Anthony Edwards is
Yeah.
probably the lowest right now. Maybe a LaMelo.
like a LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, okay.
They don't have anybody to look
Yeah.
forward, like really
Yeah.
forward
That's
to.
interesting.
Unless Wiseman comes out and ends up being that.
he could.
Yeah,
I mean, remember
think he
Embiid
could
was
too.
hurt
For a long
year.
time,
yeah.
Yeah, he's hurt. And then he
Yeah.
just,
The
So-
thing with the Warriors is they have fresh legs. They have young guys. Kuminga can come out and average 20.
He could.
We don't know.
Moody could average a solid 12.
Moody
and
was a
just
great
50%.
scorer in college,
Yeah.
and they still.
That doesn't mean much though.
Yeah.
Being a great scorer in college.
Yeah.
I mean, Wiseman was,
Jimmer Fredette.
Wiseman looked really good in the preseason, but
I think what we
We'll
learned about
see.
centers, though, is that they take a lot more time to develop. Because Jokic
Yeah.
and Embiid took time.
It's like corners in the league.
They take
Yeah.
time to
Like,
develop.
it's a few years before
They
they
take
can
time.
really.
Except for like Pats are taking.
It's rare. It's rare to have a corner come in and be dominant. It's like,
Except for like
Same thing with the
Ramsey.
center. But like when you do, then they fall off. Like
Yeah.
Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah.
He was dominant when he came out. But
yeah,
He's also they were taking. He was
so
still
you
good.
got
he just didn't translate to the league.
3.
yeah.
I have the Bucks at 3. I had the Bucks at 1. You changed my mind. I moved them down to 3.
I have the Bucks at 3 too.
I like them. I mean, obviously, Giannis is the best player in the league.
Yep.
So, and then again, they have.
I didn't say my three.
Oh, you didn't?
No, we were just talking about like the Giannis thing. How you think Jokic is better?
Oh.
Oh,
I want to say about Giannis.
you didn't say your 3.
The Bucks are literally contenders every year.
Because
So,
of
like,
him.
because of him.
Yeah.
They're literally- they're
But they've
always
got
there.
the other guys. But again, like you said, like they lost a lot of their role, like their role guys. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So
I still think they're playoffs.
They're always contenders. No matter. With the best player in the league, you're always going to be a contender.
exactly.
It just depends how well the other players perform.
We skipped your 3. Who you got a 3?
My number 3, I got the Nets. I have them this
And
high
I agree. Like that was my thing. The coaching. I think it really could hurt them.
because the Nets for me, Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Hopefully they play. If they can play 60 games together, this can be the best team in the league, and I think it could be not even close if they play a bunch of games together. They just have to mesh together in the regular
Well, let's go through the
season.
starting lineup.
So
Point guard
Kyrie, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal, Kevin Durant. and-
Benson. Well, they run.
Oh,
Ben-
I forgot Benson.
They should run Ben
No, they
Simmons
should.
for 5.
I don't know.
I think Ben Simmons will
shit.
run the 1 because Kyrie has run the 2 the last few years. I think
You
it'll be-
run. I think you run Simmons at the 3, KD
It
at the
just
4.
makes your
and you run
spacing
center.
worse though if you put it at the 1.
Yeah.
Or it makes it better because you put Joe Harris at the 3, put Kyrie at
And
the
you
2,
have Seth.
Simmons
Is
at the
Seth
1.
Curry still on the team? Right?
I keep forgetting about these dudes.
And TJ Warren, they actually.
They have
They
a
have
good.
some
They have a good
guys,
roster.
yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
deeper than people remember.
And Cam Thomas, I think he'll have a.
Yeah, he'll
bigger
be.
role.
Cam Thomas is
Yeah.
a stud. I like him.
I like him a lot.
'Cause
I think
when-
he'll have a bigger role.
'cause when you think of-
microwave scorer,
When you think of the Nets, you just think of the top 2 guys, and it's just a huge drop off.
but it's
But
not,
it's
really
not
like
this
that.
year.
And Nick Claxton, I think.
Yeah,
he'll be
Nick
really
Claxton
better.
is a solid center.
He's just awful at free throw shooting.
And they have a few young guys. Like they have like Day'Ron Sharp's still young. Cam Thomas is young. They have guys that they can develop. Kessler Edwards.
Ugh.
So
Your 3.
my 3, I got the 76ers. I really want to see James Harden succeed. I want them to come out, and I think they could end up being. Their peak is the 1 seed in the East. That's just health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So?
But my top 3 is all East teams.
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I can see it, but I think people are a little high on the 76ers because
I think they're too low. I think they're counting them out.
I don't think so.
Because people are seeing as the Sixers as a championship contender. When
I
all they did
definitely think that they are a championship contender.
I can see
If you
it.
consider the Nuggets a championship contender, then
The Nuggets are better than the 76ers. I don't think so.
Yeah,
It's pretty close.
Because like all they did this
they're
year
both
was,
unproven, I guess.
Yeah.
okay. So they added, what was it? They added DeAnthony Melton and
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker, which are
Really
good
good
solid
players.
pickups.
But you're not worried about them. You're worried. I'm
Yeah.
worried about James Harden
Yeah.
and how he can be better.
Yeah.
I want to see James Harden average 24, 9 assists, and I don't know how many
Well, I don't
rebounds
know.
he gets.
24. That's a
24 is
lot.
a lot for
He averaged
24.
24.
If he averages 24 and Embiid averages 28.
24 is a lot for a dude that can't get past anybody anymore. I can see it. I still see him as a second round exit.
Me too. It just depends. Like,
But that East is so wide open.
Yeah, that's why I have the
feel like
3
it's
teams in the East.
it's tough.
All right.
Your 2.
Okay, my number 2, I got the Suns here.
Oh my gosh.
The Suns, I'm still high on them. They can only fall so far.
You're right. They have the same roster.
They legitimately have the same roster from last year, and assuming Campaign doesn't play as awful as he did last year off the bench, Cam Johnson might be starting this year. I think they'll still take him off the bench.
I've always liked Cam
He's
Johnson.
good.
Yeah,
He's UNC. So.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He was good though.
a
He's
good-
always been good.
He's a good 6 man. He's came into the league developed, but I think they'll still start Jay Crowder just because he's a veteran and they want to keep him happy until they can trade him. But yeah, I got the Suns at 2. I still have them. I still have them winning 52 plus games.
I just think Chris Paul's going to keep regressing. I think it's going to hurt.
I feel like it becomes harder and harder every year to win 60 games.
It's true. It's like, and then, like, if you're the same roster.
I don't see him winning 60 games, but I still see him above 50 at least.
Okay, that's not bad.
My 2, I have the Clippers. I'm really high on the Clippers. I like them. I love Kawhi. I love Paul George. As I say, because like when we were doing our top 20 players, I had both of them in the top 10. And then they've got all their they got a lot of good role players. You know,
I just think that they're missing a locker room guy.
Yeah,
one dude to bring them all together.
You have a little bit of worry with the coaching, but
I don't know about that.
Who's their locker room guy?
Mark.
It's definitely
Marcus
not
Morris?
Kawhi or Paul George.
Marcus Morris.
I see.
You're missing that Pat Bev. I hate to say it because I'm not a big Pat Bev guy. You're missing a Marcus Smart. You're missing a Jimmy Butler. Well, if they had Jimmy Butler, you know what I mean. But
If they had Jimmy Butler, that
you know what I mean.
nobody is scoring on that team if they have Jimmy Butler.
Well, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
missing.
That
Kawhi's not a vocal guy. PG's not a vocal guy.
They just kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the
They
Warriors
just-
at 2.
They just go to work and play basketball.
Warriors are really good still. I think, I don't think they're going to be like the Rams where they fall off. I think they're going to be really good. I think Moody's going to have a really good year. I think Kuminga's going to have a good year. And Wiseman, the center thing, like I said, young centers are hit or miss. He could be really bad. He could be really good, or he could be mid, and you're like, well, if he still develops, he could be a star.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. You don't really see like the championship team just be bad the next year, like just fall off and be horrible.
Unless they have a retirement or
unless
when they struggle with injuries, and that's the main thing
when
with
it's
the
a
NBA.
when it's a roster dismantle.
Yeah.
It's different, but like when you retain most of your roster, like your big key guys, maybe you lose 2 or 3 role players, you don't see them just fall off.
The only
did
two
lose
examples of that is when it was the 2020. You know what I mean? Because they came back. In 3 months they were playing again. You know what I mean? The Lakers and the Miami Heat both
Yeah,
disappointed.
that was crazy. That was the first time in NBA history that both teams that made it to the finals the year before were first round exits. That's crazy.
Do you remember the Panthers Broncos Super Bowl? That was the first time the 2 Super Bowl teams missed the playoffs the next year.
I know, that's so
That was a lot different.
It's a little bit different because the Broncos
'Cause
that's a
Manning
roster
retired.
that's a roster dismantle.
Yeah, that's what I was referring
The
to.
Panthers that
was injuries. There's
even still that's kind of a fall off when you're 15-1.
true.
You don't make the playoffs.
to a top 5.
That
and
is insane.
That's bad.
I do think it's easier to fall off
Top
in the
5
NFL
and
than the NBA.
It
Yes.
is.
Oh yeah,
It
because remember,
definitely
like
is.
even like the Eagles when
'Cause
they won the Super Bowl didn't.
Because
They've been bad since.
Yeah.
because you also have to
Until this
think.
year, obviously, but yeah.
You obviously have to. You also have to think.
But they won it in 2017, and we're 4 years later, and they're just now being a contender.
Yeah,
I mean, they made the playoffs last year, but you can see they're contending for the playoffs.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you can.
let me.
One more thing I want to say. Looking at NBA to NFL, you have 15 players on an NBA roster and
You have 53,
53 on an NFL. So there's a lot more roster turnover.
You're right.
So
Yep.
you're more
But it's
naturally going to lose more guys.
Well, my thing is, I look at starters with team turnover because you don't really. It's not. This isn't really true, but I mean, you don't really have the 6th man in football. If you count,
really don't.
If you count like a third down running back, maybe, but like
The good
yeah.
example is like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Like
Yeah,
that.
that
you know what I mean?
or like a
or
slot
like
receiver.
Taysom Hill,
Yeah.
it's just not. It's rare.
Yeah.
So, moving on, I'm gonna do my number 2 and my number 1. So at number 2, I got the Brooklyn Nets. I'm high on them.
Yeah.
I think Ben
I
Simmons
don't
is gonna.
disagree.
Think Ben Simmons. You know what? I'm gonna switch it. I got the Bucks at 2. I got the. I
I'm
think
not
the
mad.
Bucks. The Bucks are always consistent. The Bucks are always gonna be good as long as they have number 34. You know what I mean? He's always gonna be top 3 offensive player in the game and a top 3 defensive player in the game. He is their defense and he is their offense. And he's expanding his game more and more to that jump in the jump shooting and 3-point shot and the free throw shooting.
Yeah.
My question marks are Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. Chris
And the rest of the
Middleton,
role players.
yeah. But and at 1 I got the Nets. I think the Nets come out and if their starters play 60 games or more, I think they win 60 games.
Wow. But
You know what I
60
mean?
games is a
I
lot,
think
but
that
I can see
roster
it.
is underrated though.
Yeah.
because people
Very.
are right. People are like, "Oh, Kyrie and KD," but then it's just horrible. It's not.
Well,
you-
dude, you put Kyrie, you put Kevin Durant, you put Ben Simmons, and you throw in like a Joe Harris, a Seth Curry. You got all that shooting.
Then
You
you
got the
got-
Nicholas Claxton, his defense. You got, you know what I mean?
That's
you got
the-
all the right
Yeah,
pieces.
TJ Warren could be
That's
Bubble Warren.
That's the only question for me is their defense, especially down low. Because like,
kind of right.
who's gonna guard an Embiid? Like, he's
Claxton, I guess.
he's gonna drop 50 on them.
Well,
Yeah, but when your two best guys can
Yeah, didn't they lose? Didn't they lose a
KD and
center?
Kyrie are
Didn't they
dropping
lose
70.
somebody?
they
exactly.
lost Griffin or no?
No, they lost somebody else.
They lost. Wait, was Drummond? On the, no.
Yeah, they lost Drummond, but he wasn't really
Blake
a
Griffin
defensive center.
Drummond
was underrated though.
No, he was
He's
awful
pretty
in the
bad.
playoffs.
He can rebound. That's it.
I mean,
He's a stat patter.
Basically. So.
I like Drummond.
So you guys
He
got
used to
number
be
one.
one.
So my number one, I got the Clippers. I think they're the most complete roster in the NBA.
Yes.
They have
Yes.
they have a,
Same thing.
It's just too
They-
many question marks for me.
they
You know,
have
only time will tell.
they,
I don't know.
I don't think that they won't be good.
Well, I
guess
mean, you could legitimately see Kawhi and PG come out and be
any of these
top
teams,
two with their positions.
any of these teams can jump up to one, legitimately.
That's
Yeah.
that's usually how top 5 is.
yeah, and but with the Clippers, they have the most complete team. They have a top 5 coach. They just got to stay on the floor. Like that's all it is to it.
Yeah.
They
I
have
just think they're just.
they have some injury prone guys. Kawhi, PG, John Wall.
They're filled to the brim in every position. I feel like
Yeah.
though. Like even just their bench is really good.
Yeah.
I think Luke Kennard is one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah, he's underrated.
And like you could start John Wall, and Reggie Jackson. I think they're both kind of
Yeah.
Similar.
But
Mark-
I think John Wall. I think they should start Wall because I think he'll be able to get the ball to their studs more.
Bring that veteran presence.
And
I think
Marcus-
Reggie Jackson. He's more of just a spark plug. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
Marcus Morris about that. Ian's a pretty good down low scorer. That hook is
So,
good.
He doesn't use it all the time. He doesn't use as much as he should.
Yeah, not as much as he should, but it's still effective.
Yeah, but
Then AD and
but.
that's really it.
All
Maybe
right.
prime Nurkic.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap her up. We had 2 more topics, but we talked too much.
Yeah.
So we'll continue on next week. But thank you guys for watching.
Last week's podcast will be up here somewhere, and then your best one or whatever, and then
Yep.
subscribe.
Thank you guys.
See you next time.
Check out the TikTok.
Yeah.